Thank you for visiting Story Past 786 channel. Please like, subscribe and share, and don't forget to let us know in the comments how you enjoyed the story and what kind of stories you would like to hear in the future. It take a lot of effort to create these stories just for you, so your support means a lot. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the edges of any map, there was a village called Lumen Hollow. This was no ordinary village, for it was tucked between two mountains that glowed faintly in the dark. Every night, the mountains would shimmer with soft, pale lights that danced like stars, casting a magical glow over the village. No one knew exactly why the mountains glowed, and for generations, it had remained a mystery. The villagers simply called it the Lights of Lumen. But among the villagers, there was a curious young girl named Elira, whose imagination sparkled as brightly as the mountains themselves. Elira wasn't content to accept that the lights were simply a mystery. She believed they held a secret, one waiting to be discovered. One evening, just as the sun began to sink behind the glowing peaks, Elira snuck out of her house, her heart pounding with excitement. Armed with only a lantern and her favorite book of myths, she made her way to the foot of the mountains. As she approached, the lights grew brighter, their soft glow casting long shadows on the ground. Suddenly, as if the mountains had sensed her presence, a narrow path appeared before her, lined with luminous stones. Elira hesitated for a moment, then took a deep breath and began to climb the trail. The air was crisp, and as she ascended, she could hear the distant sound of wind chimes, though no chimes were in sight. It was as if the very wind carried music. After hours of climbing, Elira reached a small clearing near the summit of the mountain. There, nestled between two towering rocks, she found a cave. The entrance glowed with a soft, inviting light, and inside, she could hear a faint humming sound, like the echo of a song long forgotten. Without hesitation, Elira stepped inside. The cave was unlike anything she had ever seen. The walls were lined with crystals that pulsed with light in time with the hum. At the center of the cave stood a tree, a massive, ancient tree whose branches seemed to reach out toward the sky, even though it was deep within the mountain. Its leaves were silver, and its roots glowed softly beneath the ground. As Elira approached the tree, she felt a warmth spread through her, as if the tree itself was welcoming her. She reached out to touch one of its glowing roots, and as her fingers made contact, a voice filled the cave. "Welcome, child of Lumen Hollow," the voice said, soft and kind. "You have found the heart of the mountains." Elira looked around, but she saw no one. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice trembling with awe. "I am the spirit of the mountains," the voice replied. "For centuries, I have watched over your village, my light guiding your people through the darkest nights, but few have ever dared to seek me out. You are brave, young Elira." Elira's eyes widened. "The lights, they come from you?" "Yes," the spirit said. "The lights are my gift to your village, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always hope and wonder to be found. But there is something more you must know. The lights also protect Lumen Hollow, keeping the shadows at bay." "Shadows?" Elira asked, her heart quickening. "Yes," the spirit replied. "There are ancient creatures, born of darkness, that dwell in the lands beyond. They seek to extinguish the light and bring eternal night to your village. But as long as my light shines, they cannot enter Lumen Hollow." Elira's mind raced. But what if the lights go out? The spirit paused, and the hum in the cave grew softer. "That is why you are here, Elira. My light is fading, and I can no longer protect the village alone. I need someone brave, someone with a heart full of wonder, to take on the mantle of guardian. If you are willing, you can become the keeper of the lights." Elira's breath caught in her throat. Me, but how? The spirit's voice was gentle. All you must do is promise to protect the light and pass it on to others. The light is not just within me, it is within you, and within all who believe in the magic of this world. As keeper, you will learn how to harness that light and keep the shadows at bay. Elira stood silent for a moment, the weight of the decision heavy on her small shoulders. But as she looked around the glowing cave and felt the warmth of the tree's roots beneath her feet, she knew what she had to do. I will, she said, her voice steady. I will be the keeper of the lights. The cave brightened, and the tree's leaves shimmered with a brilliant silver light. Then it is done, the spirit said. You are now part of the light, Elira, and as long as you carry it within you, Lumen Hollow will remain safe. With that, the cave began to fade, and Elira found herself standing once again at the foot of the mountain, the lights of Lumen Hollow twinkling above her. In her hand, she held a small, glowing crystal, a piece of the heart of the mountains. She smiled, knowing that the light would never fade as long as she kept her promise. From that night on, Elira watched over the village, her heart full of wonder and light. And though the shadows still lingered at the edges of the world, they never dared to enter Lumen Hollow. For they knew that the light of the keeper would always shine brightly, guiding the way through the darkest of nights. And so, the lights of Lumen Hollow continued to dance in the sky. A reminder to all that even in the darkest times, there is always someone watching over the light.